I would say in general that the African biggest achievement in agriculture was on seed improvement. When Africa started using hybrids, I think it made quite a very important revolution in terms of improving agricultural productivity. And then through the use of improved seed, there were now some traits which would adapt to different challenges that they have in different agroecological zones, like for example, some traits of tolerance to drought, some traits of tolerance to insects, and some diseases. But more recently, the biggest achievement, I think, is the adoption of biotechnology as one of the key tools to address the many challenges that farmers in Africa are facing, because biotechnology provides a quite effective tool, and it is one of the way of producing variety in a more precise and faster way. So I think it is very good to have a number of those tools in the toolkit of the farmer. Those conventionally produced new generational varieties, and also biotechnology as one of the tools with different methods which can be used to expedite the adaptation of the farmers to the current challenges. Ethiopia, like other African countries, is facing the challenges related to productivity. In general, in Africa, productivity is very low. That is one. As a second thing is that Africa is facing the effect of climate change, especially the change of in the rainfall patterns, and recurrent droughts, which most of the time handicap the crop growth and development and the harvest. And we also face land degradation, and of course a lot of hardship coming with weeding and all those aspects. So biotechnology comes in to provide to the farmers in general, and in Ethiopia in particular, with solutions to address that issue of productivity and address key pests and diseases which currently are very much hampering the harvest of the farmers. Most recently, it is less than 10 years, we have the fall armyworm in the maize value chain, which is very devastating. In addition to the stem borer, which was already there, and drought, of course, which is getting exacerbated as we go on. So having varieties like, for example, one of the products we developed with our partners on maize, Tela maize, which is a biotech product, but tolerant to the drought, resisting stem borer, and fall armyworm, is for sure something which will create more resilience of the farmers involved in that value chain and increase the income which they can get from their activities in farming maize. And we have many other products, of course, in other parts of Africa, but for Ethiopia, I think currently those involved in the cotton value chain are already reaping the benefit of biotech, and also those who will be involved in adopting Tela maize will certainly get the benefit that other countries like Nigeria and South Africa are already having through farming Tela maize. I will take the example of what we the testimonies of the farmers themselves, actually, in countries that have been already adopting those technologies, like South Africa for maize. The farmers will tell you that per hectare it was very difficult to have even 200 bags of maize. That is just 2 tons. It was very difficult. But currently they can have up to 100 bags of 100 kilos. It means something which varies around 10 tons. In Nigeria, with where we started already commercialization 2 years back, 2 to 3 years back, I think, we have already even published some data showing that the productivity has doubled. Yeah, has doubled. This shows what that biotech product can give to the farmers who adopted it. But in terms of the cost of production, there is also some benefits that biotech products are bringing. Because when you are farming the traditionally bred one, which is vulnerable to a drought, you can lose all your product in once. I'm a smallholder farmer. I once lost all my harvest, for example, because I use the traditional one. When you can't have enough water, enough rain, then you can lose it, literally all. This is one. But also the insects, like the fall army worm and the stem borers. To combat them, the farmer needs to spray a pesticide a number of times. It can be 4 to even more depending on the level of infestation. That one is increasing the cost of production from the farmer, in addition to exposing the farmer himself, the one who sprays, to some hazards, and in addition to actually having negative consequences to the environment. So the benefits are at different levels. You increase your productivity, so there will be more money. You reduce your cost of production. It means profitability will be higher, and you protect yourself and the environment. In Ethiopia, we can celebrate many milestones. The first one is to have policies and regulatory frameworks and all the enabling environment established to enable the African farmers, but also other stakeholders, to come in and actually apply those technology in a safe and responsible way. This is one thing, and you can see that we have institutional arrangements, yeah, which can provide all those, I would say, safety and create confidence among the stakeholders who are the farmers, the private sector, the consumers, etc. This is one aspect. As an African, I'm very happy when I see African researchers working in developing those products, because first, they are responsible, they are working for themselves. They will make sure the products they have are responding to the needs of their brothers and sisters who are in the farming industry, but also to themselves who are consumers. And they will certainly ensure that there is sustainability of the gains that they have with those technologies. This is one thing, and Ethiopia is doing well in building the capacity of researchers in the development of those products. Now, on the other level, we feel that also the government and those institutions are also making that progress. At the level of the farmers, I think already those involved in the cotton sector can feel and testify the advantages of having varieties which are resisting to those insects which can easily affect the cotton bolls. And the BT technology is one doing that, and it will be just extended to other products, and we hope that soon it will be also extended to maize and other biotech products like genome editing and others will be applied to some other crops depending on the need. Actually, we provide the technology, we provide the product, and we provide also the knowledge to the farmers and the stakeholders so that they can be able to choose which one is the most appropriate for them. Biotech is a new technology coming to the African continent in general and to Ethiopia also. And every time there is a new thing coming, there are some doubts. Not everybody embrace it immediately. We have seen examples on some other technologies, like most recently in 2020, how people, even in developed countries, how they received things like the vaccine against COVID. So there can be some doubts on the advantages of the technology, and we need to inform more so that we create knowledge, public awareness on what the technology is and what it brings to them. And we have many evidences which show actually the benefit you can reap from adoption of that technology. But the first thing is, of course, awareness creation. We believe that it will be soon reaching the level where a critical mass of people will understand the advantage of using technology to adapt to the current conditions. But that could be seen today as a barrier to accessing the technology, to adopting and using it. And we need to provide that continuously, because it is not something which happens just at once. The second is we need a coordinated effort from all those different partners. And we are currently working on creating that public awareness, which will lead to public confidence in this technology. And once we all understand the same, I think coordination will come by automatically as a result of this. We want the developers, the private sector, the regulators, the farmers themselves, and as the consumers to get the same understanding and move forward together. And that is also one, I would say, a barrier currently. That level of coordination is not strong enough. And you can see that because of that, some of the steps that we need to take in terms of approving the varieties and enabling the farmers to access them, we have some delays in adopting. I think those hesitations could be a result of a weak coordination of the stakeholders. The other thing is that for different reasons, there is misinformation which is peddled around. Sometimes even disinformation, negatively propagated and intentionally done. Why? I don't know. I cannot imagine that some Africans are not interested in seeing Africa food secure, nutrition secure, and moving itself from the current level of poverty to a desired level of income and better livelihood. But it is there. Misinformation and disinformation are there, and they constitute quite a barrier to the adoption, because they create fear and hesitation to adopting the technology. As I have just said, we need to strengthen the coordination between the key players in this area. The government has the role to provide an enabling environment for the technologies to be developed, which are responsive to the needs of the country, but also the product to be commercialized, to be distributed to the farmers. The research institutions, they need to continue their work of adapting the technology to the needs and to create that capacity that is needed to sustain the technology and continue adapting it to evolving issues that are facing the farmers. So we need absolutely to have very fit research institutions to give it even an African face, because that is how you will get African issues addressed as a priority by our research institutions. AATF has been a key player in bringing together private and public partners to work on those technologies. We have been created, AATF, to scout those technologies which are useful to sub-Saharan African farmers and work with local stakeholders to adapt them to the specific issues that we are trying to address. And that is the role that we continue to play as alongside the role of helping in the improving of policies, regulatory framework, creating that advocacy so that we have that political will which will support all, I would say, the revolution, another revolution in the agricultural sector. The transformation of agriculture from what it is today to what Africa needs it to be, need absolutely that kind of partnership of government, research institution, AATF, but also more. We need private sector, including the business people who will take the product to the last mile, but also the funders and investment. Our own banks and philanthropists, should come in and help all the system, because it is another level of fight. We need to attain our food sovereignty, our food security, and food security will mean actually security itself of the African continent. My last word is a call to action. As Africans, we should realize that currently most of the transformations we are having and celebrating are in majority supported by philanthropists and through cooperation with partners from outside the continent. But the reality is, for us to reach the food security we want, for us to transform agriculture into an engine for socioeconomic transformation, we need absolutely to be the ones supporting and financing our own transformation. There is no country which can develop its food system with support coming from outside eternally. We need absolutely to have our government financing our own transformation of the agricultural sector. It is a call to action for our policy makers and our political leaders.